Good morning. Drink your coffee.
Welcome to our new podcast, Fighting Duality. Fighting Duality.
Step out of the darkness into the light.
I'm talking about the dog.
I know the world is round.
Squirrel brain, didn't we? How's it going?
Oh, it's going.
I see you have a companion there with you.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a
Big old
Just-
teddy bear.
he is.
Well,
Well,
what's been going on, buddy?
been freezing my ass off.
Yeah, it's about to get a whole lot colder, too.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it.
They're saying wind chills could reach negative 20, negative 30 degrees.
And they can kiss my ass.
So it's been a hot ass minute since we've actually done a podcast. We attempted to do one, a week or so ago, but things got a little chaotic around my house and you couldn't really hear
Yeah.
us over the background noise. So it's been since Christmas.
Yeah.
And here we are midway through February.
Yeah. New Year.
Yeah. New
New
year.
month.
We're already 2 months in, almost 3.
Right. Well, and I scroll through TikTok and Reels and all that good stuff, and man, I tell you what, the conspiracies are getting ridiculous. Just
Yeah.
flat out. I'm like, you guys are stupid.
But they're not conspiracies if they're true.
They're not true. I'm willing to bet over half the crap that I've seen. It's just, I don't know where people come up with this shit.
Well, I mean, I can make up a conspiracy right now. That's generally how it's done.
A theory. It's a theory.
Conspiracy theory. Can't stress that enough. It's a theory.
It's only a conspiracy if you've got 2 or more to get involved with you.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. Give me 3 motherfuckers and I can overthrow a government.
Right? Oh, Lord. But
So,
no, the latest one that I thought was piss ignorant was the whole Mountain Dew thing. Flavors and oh, look here. That's coincidence.
yeah.
Big difference between coincidence and theory.
You know, it is a little strange. I mean, once maybe twice is a coincidence. 3 times, But at the same time, that whole thing was going on. There was a book released about fires in Maui, and like a week later, or I'm sorry, a week later, the fires actually happened. Just how it described it in the book.
Yeah,
So, I don't know.
I don't either.
I tend to shy away from those because there's really no evidence to back it up.
Right.
You know, I'm a firm believer in doing research to back up my claim of being psychotic. So,
But as I've stated before, how do you know your research is legit?
fair point. I
Because
can't even argue that.
I mean, everything you see on the internet, if the government wants you to know about it or don't want you to know about it, they can influence what's put on there.
Yeah, they've proven that case in point in the over the last couple of weeks.
So, I mean, it's like I've heard rumors that, us growing up in school, over half the history books were false.
I've heard that too, but I was a big fan of history growing up, so I did my own research. I
And
I
and
didn't
the good
believe
old Encyclopedia Funk and Wagnalls.
yeah, 1890s, 1900
Yeah.
encyclopedia. That's where I got most of my stuff from. But even when I was in school, I didn't believe half the shit that I was reading in the history books that they taught us.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me. I mean, there's always a little bit of truth in every lie, but a lot of that shit just didn't compute.
Right.
So it
Yeah.
prompted me to go and do my own research and study history all the way out. My favorite time in history was the Dark Ages, medieval times, by far. And it was, yes, the knights and the battles that they had and stuff like that were awesome, but it was the Knights Templar that always drew my attention.
A Knight's Tale's a pretty good movie.
A Knight's Tale is good, yeah. Completely historically inaccurate, but yeah.
It's for entertainment purposes only. Nowhere on it did it say based on a true story.
Well, I know that, but I mean, I really enjoyed. That's actually one of my favorite movies on this planet is that movie because I love that period. You know, I
Right.
was scrolling on Disney Plus the other day and I found night fights.
Right.
Guys dress up in legitimate suits of armor and beat the shit out of each other with blunted weapons like swords and axes and shit.
Okay.
Freaking awesome. I sat there and watched it all the way through. There's only one season on there, so I was pissed, but and then I was like, well, I'm done with this one. And then it's like, hey, something you might like. Full Metal Jousting. I was like, yes. So I got
I
on there
prefer Full
and there's
Metal
only
Jacket.
Full Metal Jousting. It's freaking awesome. I still haven't finished it yet because, you know, life happens, but I am to the very last like 1 or 2 episodes in it, and there's only one season on it too. I was like, God damn it.
I'm sorry, but I can only picture Arlie Ermery dressed up as a knight just doing his what is your major malfunction, nuts?
Best
I
part
will
of you,
gouge
Grant,
out
I
your
know.
eyes.
Old lock and sock videos.
Right?
Oh. So
Oh,
with everything that's going on since Trump has gotten office, I mean, wow. I there's a lot on paper that has been done, and I personally am like everybody else that I've seen. I want to see some fucking arrests.
right?
FEMA denied, just blatantly outright, just didn't follow an executive order. Sent 95 million, or was it $59 million to New York. So what they do? They fired him and got the money back. Firing him's not enough. I want him arrested. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, they do that to us if we got fucking busted sending out $59 million to somebody.
$59.
Yeah, shit, they'll be coming after me for my taxes if I don't file them.
Right?
Speaking of taxes, Doge is auditing the IRS right now, right? Out of 5,000 employees, 2,000 of those employees owe back taxes to the tune of around $50 million.
And they're screaming at me for 800.
Yeah, but they can tell me that I owe them money.
Right?
And if I don't pay it, they'll come and audit me and they'll take all my shit and garnish my wages. No.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait until the audits are done by Doge, and then I will submit my taxes. And it will be the last time that I pay taxes. Because it is voluntary. It is not a law.
I'll have
If
to
you,
look into that and get back into
it is a voluntary action. It is not a required law. That's why they have to give you the option to opt out of paying taxes on your W-4, W-2, whatever it is.
I've never seen that option.
Oh, it's there.
The only option there is exempt if you're in military or don't make so much, or there's some other stipulations. I don't remember what it was.
Let's see here.
Let's see.
Can't type fast enough. I am trying to Google it, but it is not. Of course, it's Google. They don't want to tell me. But I have seen it in an attorney's law book.
Yeah. The Constitution ratified on February 3rd of 1913 states that Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes on income from whatever source derived. All residents and citizens of the United States are subject to the federal income tax.
The tax law is found in Title 26 of the United States Code. Section 6012 of the code makes clear that only individuals whose income falls below a specific level do not have to file returns. While our tax system is based on self-assessment and reporting, compliance with tax laws is mandatory.
So there's your law.
Compliance with tax laws, state laws. Doesn't
Well,
say
taxes, it's federal. If you're looking in 26 USC, that's federal.
is our federal taxes voluntary. Although U.S. federal tax system is voluntary, failure to comply carries stiff penalties.
So how is it voluntary?
That's what it says. It says that it's voluntary.
It's contradicting itself.
But then right below it, it says compliance with tax laws is mandatory. So
It's not voluntary.
it literally says that it's voluntary, and then right below it says that it's not. So
Then it's not.
but
I
if
mean, it can be voluntary, but you're still going to get consequences. And so, to avoid those consequences, you have to abide by the mandate.
if every U.S. senator and congressman and congresswoman don't have to do it, why should I?
Well, because I'm not everybody else. I'm me.
And
If you
I'll get
jump off a
penalized.
bridge, I'm not going to jump off that bridge. Go for it.
And I'll get penalized worse than they would ever.
Well, I mean, that happens.
Because I can't buy my way out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what it boils down to, is you can't buy your way out of it. You're fucked.
I gotta find that dang. I went over to Google and now I've got to try to find.
Oh,
well.
no, we busted out the computer, huh?
Right. So, yeah, the again, if being in a profession that I'm in, if it says, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, that interprets to Oh, it's voluntary, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of falls under the whole directive of, the FAFO the
Yeah,
FAFO theory. You can test that theory at your earliest convenience.
have fun with that. But again, my ass is not jumping off that bridge.
Well, I'll do it, but I'm not stupid enough to do it without a parachute.
No, I mean, no.
My wife's not going to let me.
She's smart. You should probably listen to her. I know there's plenty of other times you don't want to listen to her, but
I'm not going to incriminate myself and say that I have done it, but
what? Listen to her?
no, filed exempt.
Oh,
But then again, I probably qualified for that under minimum
there was
pay.
one year, years and years ago, I had a professional license. Well, that year for taxes, I didn't make squat. I think it was maybe 10 grand that year because I got ill, whatever. But the tax commission came to me and said, "Hey, well, it was a federal tax," and they were like, "Hey, we're going to suspend your professional license. You don't get this taken care of." And I was like, "There's nothing to take care of." So, long story short, I went to the office, went in there, and they're like, "Yeah, we suspended it because you didn't file and pay." And I said, "I know I didn't file and pay." And they said, "What was your reasoning?" And I told them how much I had made, and they're like, "Oh, that's all you had to do was tell us that you didn't make enough to qualify." I was like, "Are you kidding me? Really? I didn't know that." Okay, now I do.
Well, I bring up that to bring this up. When Trump got put in office, he had made mention of the tariff tax instead of income tax. And
Right?
everybody was kind of like, yeah, that'd be fucking amazing, but nobody really took him seriously
Yeah.
until he stood up and said it again. And given that everything that man has said that he's going to do and is doing, I believe that that's exactly what he's going to do. Now, it won't be this year. It probably won't be next year, but it will be coming down the pike. And
Right.
we won't be paying federal income tax anymore,
Well,
which is like, oh jeez. I think the numbers they were throwing out is like a $20,000 to $30,000 a year increase in our money back. I don't see how that is 20, 30 grand, but
right.
I mean, there are a lot smarter people than me that are a lot better with numbers, so I'm going to go ahead and lean on the side of caution and go with that.
I
But
heard something, and it was, what was it? Something about him filing something stating if you had to do with child support. If you pay child support, then you can claim your child, but if you are the custodial parent receiving, you won't be able to pay child support. Or you won't be able to claim
claim the
that
dependents.
child. Yeah.
I had heard something about that. I'm up in the air on that.
I'm all for it.
Um,
Being one that paid child support for 20 years, I never got to claim the kids. And I'm like, well, you know, where's my. So basically, what's happening is uh, your custodial parent who's not only receiving thousands of dollars a year for however many kids you've got, but then they really get to hit the jackpot when they get their earned income tax credit.
yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly that that is being done, and that's bullshit. What I don't agree with is, just off of what I've heard, um, and it's not necessarily, you know, that I am against the payee getting to claim the children. It's more, it should be, let's see how to put this. If you're a single parent and you're taking full advantage of the child support that you're getting and the government assistance that you're getting,
Yeah,
you should not be able to claim the dependent at all.
correct.
That much I agree with. But there are some extenuating circumstances where, you know, once somebody's incarcerated or something like that, you know, and I'm sure there's a procedural thing for that, but I'm taking it with a grain of salt because I have paid child support.
Right.
Voluntarily paid it, mind you. And would it have been nice to be able to claim the child? Absolutely. But at the same time, I feel that the mother of my daughter deserved to have it too.
Man, I don't know. Because the problem is, you know, with like my kids, for example, their mom worked. I got no break. I mean, I just had to keep paying it out, and I'm just like, where's my break? So I really don't agree with it. I don't agree with, you know, if you're a custodial parent, single or married or whatever, and I'm paying you $1,000 a month for however many kids, that is $12,000 you got from me that year. Why
Yeah,
do you need an extra five?
yeah, very true.
I don't,
I get that. Yeah, I understand that.
you know.
That's explained a
Um,
little bit better than what I was going off of. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
That's like I've got a buddy that, you know, we were talking about it, and he was like, he pays, oh, what was it? He pays, I think, we'll just say like 4 grand uh, a year, 4 or 5 grand a year. I don't remember the amount. I'm just throwing a number out. And she, on top of that, gets like another 8 grand a year just from taxes, from earned income tax credit. So, you know, it's one of those things that if this was to go through, they could be like, hey, you're going to get 8 grand because if I'm paying child support, he'll be able to claim the child or kids or however many, and she won't get to earn that. But, you know, the bigger payout would be to, I mean, so for him, it's a win win
Right,
because he's getting his money back at the end of the
right.
year. But if he if she takes him off of child support and says, never mind, I'll just take the earned income tax credit each year and get more than what he would pay in child support. I mean, you know, it could be a win-win on either side.
Yeah. So the thing that I'm alluding to is kind of let's see how I can put this without actually incriminating anybody. Say there is a guy that has multiple children with multiple different women.
Okay.
He is court ordered to pay child support,
Okay.
but that child support trickles down. So say he has 8 kids, 3 with one woman, 1 or 2 with another, so on and so forth. He's fully disabled because for whatever reason, and he's only ordered to pay $75 a month for the first 3 to the first woman out, and then it just trickles down from there. Each woman gets a lesser amount per kid.
Okay.
I do not believe that male should be able to file for uh, the child tax credit.
Um, so maybe put a stipulation on it.
I'm
Maybe
sure,
have it to
like I
where
said,
you split it between the two.
like I said, I'm sure there is something like a contingency plan for that.
But I mean, I have a way. I mean, I'm not trying to knock anybody because we never know what the future holds.
Right. Right.
And someone becoming disabled, that could have been from a unforeseen catastrophic accident or something. But you know, that's I had 3 kids. That's it. You
Well, I
know,
mean, I'm sure there are a lot, like in this instance, there is a reason why there
but
are.
but I will say this: if you got a shit ton of kids with different baby mamas, then I mean, because here's my thing: there's too many people that take advantage.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, oh, I got 10 kids, I ain't gonna pay a dime on them.
Right.
Yeah, dude, I know some people that raised kids, and the biological parent, the dad, didn't pay a dime, and so mom and new husband that stepped up and took care of those kids had this. They did what they had to do, but it's like it's not right.
Right.
My mom always told me growing up, if you're gonna play, you're gonna pay.
That's why
By
that
God,
pull
she
out.
wasn't lying.
That's why that pull-out game got real strong.
I mean, so I'm just, if you're gonna have kids, take responsibility.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, I agree.
And um, yeah, so yeah, that's where I uh, stand on that issue.
Well, in much, much brighter news, or whatever.
Have you seen? Speaking of bright, have you been outside with that snow and that sun, and it's bright.
That's
It
blind the
sucks.
shit out of you. I try and stay in my
Yeah, I
little
know.
hidey cave here.
Yeah.
Me and the sun are not friends.
Like I said, it's about 50 to 60 degrees colder than what I like.
Everybody complains when it's middle of summer out here. Man, I can't wait for it to get cold and snow. And as soon as that first snow
Nope.
hits, they're like, man, I can't wait for it to be summertime. I can't take this cold anymore. You know what? The older I get, the more I understand why people move to fucking Florida and Arizona.
Dude, the cold hurts.
It does.
You will never and never in all of my lot of years on this earth have I ever complained about summer. Never.
I have,
Nope.
but that's because I'm fat.
I mean, me too. But I've never, I would rather sweat my ass off than be able to walk outside and tell you how cold it is just because my nipples are sticking out.
Well, the way that I look at it is I can always put more clothes on, but it's a felony to take them all off.
That's true. That is
So
true.
I'd rather not
But
catch a felony.
I can't walk. That's like I went out and took my dogs out earlier. My hands dried out in like 2 seconds, it felt like, and hurt really bad. And I can't do and then my neuropathy kicked in and my feet, and I'm just like, no, I'm done.
Mm.
I'm done.
I woke up
Can't
the
do
other
it.
morning and it was so damn cold outside. I didn't even have to go outside to know that it was ice cold outside. I was like, man, I don't want to today.
Right?
I don't want to today.
Yeah, and they're saying it won't be above freezing till Saturday.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying that it's supposed to be with the wind chills -20 to -30 pretty much all week long. And on top of that, we're supposed to get about 8 inches of snow with 2 to 3 foot snow drifts possible.
Man, I just don't see it. I'll have to just wait until it gets here and see it and find out if that's, when it
Well,
happens.
where
Believe it when I
you're
see
at,
it.
you're probably going to get more than me. But for some reason, where I'm at tends to get hit a lot worse than what they usually say.
Well, I don't know.
The last time
I
they
didn't
said it snowed an inch and a half, dude, we had 5 inches of snow out here.
I didn't know it was supposed to snow yesterday until, hey, look, there's flurries.
Yeah. Well, I got a weather update from the guy that I follow on Facebook, and he's like, "Yeah, I expect snow late this afternoon, early tonight." And I'm like, "What?"
Right? Yeah, no. Whatever. Whatever.
So, do you have Discovery Plus
Shoot if I know.
on?
I
Well,
couldn't tell you.
so I've been watching. I follow Josh Gates, Expedition Unknown, Expedition X,
Oh, okay.
that stuff,
Okay.
and they did an episode on Bigfoot, or better yet, how they prescribed it as the Fouke monster.
The
Mon-
what?
the Fouke monster.
What the fuck?
The cryptid that inspired the legend of Boggy Creek.
Okay.
Bigfoot.
Right.
So I was like, wow, this is going to be interesting. So I watched the episode, and turns out Fouke, Arkansas, which is about 5 hours from us,
Yeah.
has this nifty little place that is the Fouke Monster, like, museum.
So where exactly is Fouke, Arkansas? Is it
Fouke,
central? Is it south? Is it
Fouke, Arkansas is south, that would be southeast of us, down by Mount Pleasant,
well, everything's gonna be east of us.
Idabel. It's
Okay. I was wondering if it was down in that area close to the southeastern tip of our state because of the fact that, that's where there's a lot of Sasquatch sightings.
yes.
So
So I was thinking that maybe we could take our little gig on the road on a couple day journey to Fouke, Arkansas,
okay.
and do a podcast from that uh, Fouke Monster Museum.
That might be pretty cool.
Maybe get some people to come on and do interviews.
If we can find some.
And then on our way back through, we can stop off at the Kiamichi Mountains and visit their Bigfoot Museum.
Go down to Hope's Town. They got a great seafood place down there. I'm just throwing that out there.
So I think it'd be freaking cool to do in like the spring, early summer.
Yeah. Oyster bar. That's what it is.
Ew.
I think it's an oyster bar.
Ew.
Something like that. It's pretty good.
Ew.
Don't be a pansy.
I don't like snot.
Well, I mean,
Ew.
I can go so many places with that. I'm going to leave that one alone.
There are a lot of things that I will eat, and oysters is not one of them. And I don't give a shit how anybody takes that.
Fried oysters aren't so bad.
I could probably do fried oysters, but on the half shell, negative.
Those are turtles. Oh, Lord. Yep. I went down there and it was, I think it is an oyster bar or something, but they serve more than oysters. But it's pretty good. They got seafood there. It was I'm a big seafood fan. I love seafood. So, yeah, it was pretty good.
So check this out. The last sighting of the Fouke monster, and I hope I'm saying that right. I don't want to butcher their name.
I mean, it could be
Folk
you know,
monster? I don't know.
no, I was
Yeah, I'm not
another
good.
3-letter F word.
But
Where you
the
going?
last
Fuck Arkansas.
fuck Arkansas. The last sighting was in 2021 that was reported anyway. A witness reports seeing a hairy ape-like creature run across a county road during daylight hours. He described it as looking like an orangutan with reddish hair.
Dude, you know Billy Bob is offended. Just throwing that out there. An orangutan? I ain't no damn orangutan.
That was my damn ghillie suit.
Ghillie suit, hell you woolly mammoth.
So
Oh, that's funny.
you have they call it the Fouke monster or the Boggy Creek monster, swamp stalker,
Swamp Stalker, that's legit. I'll go for
right?
that.
And
Swamp
then
Stalker.
similar entities are the skunk ape and the Honey Island swamp monster.
Skunk ape.
Yeah.
And you know that's legit. That's
But
Florida, isn't it?
yeah, the Honey Island swamp monster and skunk ape are.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that's because they both come out of bogs and creeks.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like wood booger. How the hell did you get the name wood booger?
That would be
I'm
the Kentucky folk in the mountains.
right. Well, they're.
Oh, did we lose you? Wow, what
I
was
could go
that?
on and on. I could go on and on. What was what?
It sounded like a transformer fart.
What'd you hear? Because I didn't hear nothing.
It, exactly what I just said. It sounded like a transformer farted.
So how exactly? Now you've got my brain. I gotta know
I
how
couldn't
the
even begin to
hell.
describe to you the sound, buddy. It was weird.
I I couldn't tell you, man. I don't know I don't know what was in your coffee this morning.
It was Irish coffee.
Transformer fart. I think I've heard it all now. Jeez. Oh, that's funny. Transformer fart. Man, I'll be stuck on that for a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. How cool. I just found the U.S. map, right, of North America
Okay.
and their names. It
Oh, a Bigfoot?
doesn't have, well, just all sorts of cryptids.
Oh,
I wow. I'm just going to start naming off the names. I'm not going to name where they're from because they're not labeled, and they span a vast majority of states. The Iliama Lake Monster, the
Ilium.
Wahila,
Wait a minute. That's got to be down around. Uh,
that looks to be
uh.
Alaska.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Iliamna Lake Monster. It looks to be
Yeti.
Alaska. No, serpent.
Oh, thought we was talking about the Squatch.
Uh, so it looks to be depicted as the same picture, but it's called the Shuswagi, and the Ogopogo. So the ones that I'm reading off now are from Canada. The Shuswagi, the Ogopogo, and the Turtle Lake Monster. And then you have Manipogo, the Wahila, which looks to be like some sort of wolf. I mean, and then you have the Adlet, Adlet. That looks like a that looks like a werewolf. And then you have Wendigo, Memphrey, and Champ.
Camp, really? They couldn't
Yeah.
come up with anything better?
I'm guessing that's the one that's in Lake Champlain.
Oh,
And then you have the Dover Demon. Looks like a alien type hybrid type thing. The Jersey Devil, the Mothman. What in the hell is that? Scope or swamp lizard man. The swamp ape.
Yeah.
Frog man.
Okay. I've got to, I'm curious now about a frog man.
These are just like cartoonish, like child cartoon drawings. Just a second. I'll send you a picture.
We're going to have to research some of these and just tell their stories.
Oh man. It sets up for a whole nother ball game.
Right?
So you have the Pope Lick monster, which looks like a goat man. The Beast of Bray Road, which we've talked about once or twice.
I think I remember something like that.
The Ozark Howler. The Lake Worth monster in Texas. The Oklahoma octopus.
What?
Yeah, you not heard that one?
No. No.
Ah, dude, that's a fun one.
Never heard of it.
That's a fun one. Because it makes absolutely no sense, but it does. You have Thunderbird, which is a cool one. I've actually talked to someone that claims that they saw a Thunderbird. The Shunka Warakan looks like the same thing as a Wahila.
Okay.
You have the Skinwalkers. The Mogollon Monster.
I'm sorry, but is it just me or does Wendigo look like something from The Simpsons?
That's what I'm saying. They're like a children's depiction of this shit, dude.
Pope Lick Monster?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
And then you have Tessie that looks just like Champ and Nessie.
Yeah. Well, they're cousins.
Yeah.
And then Ogopogo and Suswagi.
There's a thing called Bat Squatch.
Dude, so what was I watching the other day? I came across something.
That's it. I'm Googling something.
It might be like an Eric Estrada movie. Don't ask why I went that route. But there's a movie and it's the Chupacabra versus whatever. And it looked really good.
What the hell is that? I have found what we need to talk about next.
Sounds
The
interesting.
Bat Squatch of Mount St. Helens. What in the hell is that? Holy crap, that thing looks cool.
You said it's called Bat Squatch?
An artist rendering looks cool. Yeah. The Bat Squatch is a flying cryptid that was allegedly seen near Mount St. Helens in the 1980s. It resembles a flying primate similar to the Ahul and the orang bati of Southeast Asia. And its name is portmanteau, derived from the words bat and Sasquatch. Well, no shit, Bat Squatch. Speaking of Southeast Asia, there is a video going around on somebody's trail cam that picked up a damn velociraptor. Can't verify its legitimacy, but it was on more than one camera. And it was quick, and it flashed through, and you could tell that it was a damn velociraptor. So, oh yeah, the what? I spell it. Oh, the Puckwudgie. It's called a a Puckwudgie. I've heard of it. That is so the only reason I know about this one is because there is a uh, group on TikTok that has a YouTube channel that has gone out looking for this thing. Now, I can't verify if it's fake, staged, anything like that, but it is definitely interesting to watch. Yeah, it's as big as a Sasquatch that has bat wings. I'm Batman. Yes, finally something besides all the other bullshit going on. Somebody told me a couple last week before that I had a face for radio. After I let them listen to the podcast, they were like, "Dude, you sound really good. You definitely have a face for radio." I was like, "That's fucked up, dude." I can blend. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll kind of dip in a little bit here and there, but we're gonna get back to what we know, and that is cryptids and spooky shit, like the wood booger and moonshine. Yeah, I didn't see nothing. White lightning. Yeah, definitely. And I think with, my job change going to the hours that I'm going to be going to, I think it'll be a lot easier because we'll both be on the same sleep time. I don't. Yeah, but I mean, it'll be easier because it won't be 8 o'clock and I'm just like, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And you're like, you pussy, it's only 8 o'clock. You pussy. Oh, I know it. I know it. I'm looking forward to it, actually. I miss the graves. I'm more of a. I looked at that. Um, and I actually looked at doing their more internal stuff, and they couldn't pay me enough. That's what they told me. We can't afford you. You know, you know how much they're offering for that internal job? 14. Yep. No, no, no. Monitoring cameras. Oh yeah. I'm always down for the juicy stuff. Oh really? Ah. Hmm. Well, that would be why they're continuously calling me. They asked me how much it would cost for me to come there, and I told them it'd take about $23 an hour, and they told me that they could not possibly come close to that. So I sat and talked to him for a minute, and I asked him, I said, "Do you have any supervisory positions on the floor?" And they said, "Yes, we do." I said, "Well, what's the pay rate for that?" They told me what it was, and I was like, "Well, that's not much better than what you told me the pay rate was for the other job, but it entails twice as much work." Yep, same location, and the one in Tulsa. Yeah, Tulsa didn't offer. They offered the exact same thing. Not even worth the commute. Yep, still a thing. We're also on Instagram, Fighting Duality on Instagram. Yes, Squatch stories, bat Squatch stories, the Puckwudgie stories. Or your busted ass Wendigo. Good Lord. I could I could get high on acid and draw a better picture of that. Oh man. It may be wrong, but it's so right. So right. I can't remember. It's been so long since we've done a podcast. I can't even remember if we do an outro or not with the same intro. Oh. Well, why the hell not? Right? I mean, shit, why the hell not, right? It's not like anybody writes us comments telling us to change our shit or we suck or we're doing an awesome job or anything. You know, you guys could comment on the YouTube channels. Yeah. I mean, shit, fuck around and find out. You know, we might actually take your opinion and actually apply it to what we do. Shit. Granted, right. Granted, you can't see us, and doesn't mean we're not sticking our finger up at you, but we may or may not consider it. Yeah. Oh God, I want a keyboard warrior. Please, keyboard warriors, if you are listening, say something. If you're gonna be about it, damn it. Yeah. All right, brother. Be safe. Absolutely. Deuces. Good morning. Drink your coffee.
Welcome to our new podcast, Fighting Duality. Fighting Duality.
Step out of the darkness into the light.
I'm talking about the dog.
I know the world is round.
World brand, and we